you get there, you're running the label, you're doing everything, man. You know what I'm saying? You and Meech are tight at this time. You know, what would like, you know, we've heard some crazy stories about money and going out, man. You know, what do you think was like the wildest time, you know, hanging out at that
I
time?
mean, the era was just the wildest time because all of the nights to me is a blur and they the same. We did the same thing all the time. People only talked about it when they saw it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just different people talking about the same thing they saw in different occasions at different times. So to me, it was all the same. There wasn't no favorite best to me because I would sit here all night and I could just keep having memories of, we used to be in the club when we ain't working. We would be in the club 2 months straight every night doing the same thing, 40, 50,000, 60,000 every fucking night. So it's like all the nights is the same.
What do you think was like the most you guys threw away in the club in one night?
I don't know. It just depends on how many people was there because that's what it depends on. If you got 10 people with $10,000 and y'all all together as a crew to go spend money at the club, how much did your crew spend that night at the club?
Yeah, 100,000. I seen
So that's what was happening. Like a lot of times people like, yeah, Big Meech wouldn't spend $300,000 at the club. Nah, Big Meech might have spent a 60. He wasn't crazy. Like that nigga know how to spend money. He wasn't stupid. He'll spend a knot. But then it's 30 other niggas in the club that got bread. So collectively, at the next morning when niggas go to looking at their pocket, shit, I brought 20 out. Nigga, I brought 10 out. I brought 18 out. I had 6 on me. Shit, boy, we spent like 320,000 in that bitch last night. As a crew, as BMF. It was never nothing about one man with BMF. They trying to make it to one man, Big Meech alone at this point in time. But nah, back then that shit was always a community event. And that's what he created. He created everybody to be together to have some money so everybody putting up. Nigga, you couldn't tell, like he said back then, you couldn't tell the nigga that took out the trash from the nigga that had all the bricks. Everybody got chains and big ass whips. That was in one of my raps.
I seen there was a time where you guys couldn't get into a club, so you guys got a helicopter and dropped off some money?
It wasn't a club. That was a birthday bash. It was a concert, the summer concert, like Summer Jam. It was the birthday bash in Atlanta. So we went with like 80 of us or something. We had too many people latched on to come to that shit with us. And I was supposed to perform. I was set to perform that year. I believe it was like 04 or 03. And they didn't let us in. And Meech just was like, well, we all can't get in. Ain't none of us going in. So then Mama Jules, rest in peace, God bless her soul. She was like the main marketing lady for BMF Entertainment at the time. And she the one that had the plug with the helicopter shit and whatever. She was like, fuck it, let's just take one of the helicopters up and throw the ones and the flyers from Blue's, from the Juice magazine pamphlet and Blue's mixtape, or the single with E40. That's what it was. It was the flyers with me and E40, and then a bunch of ones. We went and got a bunch of ones and filled up a big ass black trash bag, and that shit was flying over the top of the venue, and we dumped that shit out the helicopter, and all that shit like rained over top of the whole crowd of the venue. And then my DJ was there on the mic. So like for my set when I was supposed to perform, she told him like, oh, they wouldn't let BMF in. It was too deep, y'all. But you know they was finna kill away. Matter of fact, is that Big Meech and Bleu Davinci right now coming across the sky in a helicopter? And she did that from the stage. As my DJ on stage. And then we came across and dumped the shit out the helicopter, and that shit fell onto the crowd and shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's what that whole thing is. People get, you know how it is when they tell a story for so many years, they get twisted that I was a club, and I don't know, that shit had like 15,000 people there when we did that.
What's up? This is Cam Capone. We got more content like this coming soon. So hit that like button, subscribe, and stay locked in to Cam Capone News.